Adventure in Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Welcome to Rockville. North America's largest rock festival is finally here.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with
Chris from Dead Heat,
Chanj from Dead Heat,
Ricky from Dead Heat,
Yogi from Dead Heat.
Nice. And I am absolutely freaking surprised with the kind of energy you guys bring that you're here at Welcome to Rockville and you made it to this interview and you're not dead from the heat.
I'm amazed at that myself, actually.
I don't even know how bands playing this shit. I do get it. You know, you go on stage and the switch goes on. You don't even know you're feeling like shit till the minute you step off the stage, and then you're like, fuck my life.
True as fuck. Because, yeah, once we got up there, it was like, all right, it's cool. And then the heat just hits you like midway through. You're like, God damn, I don't know if I'm going to finish this set.
Totally. And I got to say, I love your shirt.
Thank you, brother.
Because
appreciate it.
That's old school, and there are not many people that wear it.
Well, I'm from Oxnard. This band is from Oxnard.
There you go.
A repute, for those who can't see my shirt.
Nice.
Shout out, Repute.
All right, so what were you going to say next?
Oh, no, yeah, like, definitely one of those moments when you're up there, like, you get into the set, hell yeah, and, like, maybe the last few songs, you're like, oh, okay, fuck, this fucking sucks. You're like, all right, we got to push through. I know for sure, everyone, little by little, I could just look at, like, everyone, like, all right, we're feeling this heat, for sure.
And how fucking amazing, though, that there's people out there in this heat thrashing around to your music, and they don't have to be there. You have to be there. They don't have to be there.
Shout out to them for putting up with this heat and watching the set. Like, that's sick.
That says a lot about you guys that they showed up for you.
Shout out to the fans. Shout out to the fans.
Oh, yeah. There's a guy in a banana suit.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of that.
Yeah, there's a guy in some armor, wearing full armor. It's pretty cool.
It's all cool, too, because, like, back in my day, you couldn't go to a hardcore show and wear shit like that. You would probably get your ass beat.
You'd get beat up for sure.
I know. So that's what's great about today, great about Danny Wimmer festivals is just anybody can be themselves, even if they're stupid enough with 104-degree temperature to wear a banana suit.
It's a good thing that
Energy than we did. So yeah, they had more energy than we did, apparently, because we were all dying up there. Everybody was moshing, kept it going. Banana was fucking rocking out.
I know, right?
Yeah, banana guy.
slow down.
The Satanic Warrior in the front with the armor, that guy was a good one, but great intro. He was like, yeah, we opened up for Exodus. This band opened up for Exodus. This band opened up for Cavalera. They opened up at Stone, whatever that freaking fest is called, with Metallica that we played. And now they're playing here. I was like, oh, that's great. I was like, I needed that. It was really hot. I remember the second to last song, I just start slowing down on those drums, man. I could feel it. I was like, yep. Like, we played that fest and it was nice and cool. We come here, it's nice and hot. But then I'm inspired by the Satanic Warrior. He kept me going, man. He kept me going.
And I got to tell you, I'm from the Ventura and LA County area.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I live in South Florida now.
All right.
And every time I go back to Cali, which is quite often, first of all, my friends will never visit me in Florida because of this heat and humidity. And there's sometimes now I go out there and they're like, man, it's humid out. I'm like, what are you talking about? I actually want to put a jacket on. It's like humid.
Yeah. They don't understand what humidity is in Florida, right, compared to like anywhere else.
Oh my God.
I don't get the humidity. You get like you get dry heat, whatever. It's always hot, but it's not humid. You're not sweating your fucking ass off.
Listen, I hung out in Oxnard. I was never as hot as I am in Florida. I don't care when it was. It could be 110 degrees.
It's never been as hot as it will be in Florida.
It's fucked up. You sweat from spots you never thought you could sweat from. I'm like, whoa, this is fucked up.
Being a Cali band, you probably have to do a boxer going to training to train to play in this heat.
Touring as long as we have now, I feel like we have the training to do it.
There you go.
Do this every so often, so we're on tours all the time. So now that we're going to different places, we're used to like the heat. I don't know if we're used to the heat. This shit sucks.
Yeah,
I know, right?
From like Sonic Temple, like we played early in that day, but it was windy, so it was a little cold. Like I wore a jacket.
That's good because it was hot a couple days at Sonic Temple. Like I came home. I'm living in Florida. I got burnt at Sonic Temple. Like somebody today was like, "Do you ever get burnt?" Because they never. I'm like, "Yeah, in Columbus, Ohio. Go figure." Are you guys surfers too? Since you live in Oxnard?
No,
That's like sacrilegious.
Yeah, I've surfed before. I've done it a couple times, but other than that, I live on the beach or by the beach, so it's like I should, but I just don't.
And he shakes his head. That's like sacrilegious,
Yeah,
man.
I'm from San Diego. I don't like the beach, believe it or not. I don't like it.
That's fine.
I like to sit in my house and
So
play guitar.
when I was a teenager, I used to drive my friends down to San Diego and then go to the border. We didn't need passports then. We would park and we would
Walk
just
across.
go over to Tijuana. I wish I could tell you what I remember happened in Tijuana. I do remember eating a worm. My bro buying a leather jacket because we went down there to get a leather jacket because they're cheaper there.
Oh, yeah.
Finding out it was like they cured the leather with piss because the first rain, we were like, what's that smell? And then something to do with, I don't know, a donkey or some shit, like the donkey shows or whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
All I could say is good times.
Nah, man. It's cool. That's how you rock a gig down there. You park in San Ysidro at the border.
Right.
You walk across with the gear. There's some heads down there for you if you're lucky enough.
I know, right?
Local bands, some badass local bands that help you out and let you borrow some stuff. But it's a lot easier to get across doing that unless you want to spend 4 hours in the line at the end of the night.
I know, right? Screw that.
Shout out to TJ Hardcore Bands.
Nice.
Shout out to Hong Kong.
Oh, Hong Kong? Actually, wait. He said Hong Kong. Chanch said Hong Kong. Just to clarify.
Nice.
For the late.
All right, so I got a cool thing for you, especially since you said Exodus. That's my battle vest from the LA scene in the 80s.
Hell yeah.
That's fucking hard.
Old ass Metallica patch.
Dude,
Yeah, that's
crazy.
that's pre-Kill 'Em All.
That's tight.
I was at their first show ever. This is pre-Slayer even having a patch. Okay, so I just did.
Yeah.
And then in LA, everybody thought I was a gangbanger, and that was my gang name. We got Exodus, Dark Angel. I got COC on here, but when they were punk,
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Pre-Pepper, Suicidal, which I was into them when they were the Suey Boys before they crossed over. I'm still into them now, obviously, but I was a long hair. Couldn't show up to most of the punk shows or hardcore shows. I'd get my ass kicked back then, and vice versa. But the Suey pits were like with switchblades and shit. God forbid you were long hair, like you were getting shanked in the pit. And then I went to the first ever crossover show in LA. It was at like some Elks Lodge. And it was the first time you had punks and metalheads in the same building. No security. It wasn't in Carson. It was the Sun Valley Sportsman's Lodge. And it was on the metal side, it was Savage Grace, which is, and they actually just put a new album out for the first time in 25 years, but they were gone. But they were pretty popular back then as a thrash band. And you had Zest in the very beginning and Dark Angel, who I just talked to Gene Hoglan the other day because Dark Angel has a new album. And then on the punk side, it was COC.
Fuck yeah.
In the beginning,
Hell yeah.
pre-album, and it was Suicidal again. When they were punk, they weren't even crossing over yet.
So sick.
And the Descendants.
It's fucking hard to say
It was-
lineup.
It was like I have a video in my head of like just people flying through the air because they were like diving off the rafters and shit, and there was no place to hide.
Yeah.
Okay, if you didn't want to be in a pit, you better be outside, and that might not even guarantee it. Okay,
It's fucking tight.
it was insane. And imagine no security, punks and metalheads for the first time ever. They usually get kicked each other's asses, which I always thought was stupid anyway. Like, we were both getting our asses kicked by the jocks. Why not band together and kick their ass instead of each other's ass? That's what's cool today about the scene, playing at Welcome to Rockville like that. The last band I just interviewed, they're thrash metal band, but they incorporate hardcore into it. So
We're the opposite. We're a hardcore band incorporating thrash and metal and everything. So
see, you got to go on a tour together. It would be like a cool tour. Chain Saint.
Oh, we just played with them. Oh, they opened up the stage that we just played.
See, there you go. That's setting up the next tour.
Dude, that'd be sick.
So what was that moment in life for you guys that said, this is what I need to do? What was it when you found out that you're in California and you can't surf or don't want to surf? So now you just went to music?
For me, it was very young. I was probably like maybe all of us got into music when we were pretty young, like punk or metal. Or I got into punk when I was probably like 10 or 11,
Nice.
going to backyard shows and like bunch of random oi punk bands that I play. And then like I got into the scene that is Oxnard, which is like ill repute. I'm spitting everywhere.
That's all right. It wasn't on me. I don't care. It might have been in his drink, but
Ill repute, aggression, Dr. No, a bunch of like bands from my area that just got me into like Nardcore, which is the scene Oxnard hardcore.
nice.
That brought me up to get me into what I am in today. So like after that, I guess metal. I was into Slayer and like Sepultura, and then like in high school, that's when I got into hardcore, and like I got opened up to a bunch of every other big band that's like coming around, like Cro-Mags, Leeway, those kind of bands. And I feel like that influenced to what I have today, even though it's so long ago. It instilled.
It makes sense because I think the bands of my time are what paved the way to be able to have the. It's almost like you didn't know of any bands that play in festivals. Like this was such an underground scene when I was there. Even Slayer and Metallica, like shit didn't even play on the radio ever. And it's cool that you guys can bring this even more forward.
It's a me, Yogi. Nah, but for me, it was weird because I went from just my dad. The first tape he ever put in was Metallica and Justice for All, and I remember listening to it, and I was hooked. But
Nice.
But Metallica led me to punk instead of more metal. Like I wasn't listening to no Slayer. I wasn't listening to like Megadeth. I was listening to Megadeth because it was weird. I found out about that. But anyway, but yeah, Metallica led me to punk. Like through all the covers that you would do, like Misfits or Anti-Nowhere League, Ramones, of course. So it just pushed me that way.
It surprises me what you say about Slayer, because Slayer was the reason for the crossover scene pretty much, because Lombardo and Jeff were punks. And Kerry was the metalhead, and Tom wasn't even a metalhead until he joined Slayer. Like the most iconic metal voice of growling. And he was just like, he was into classic rock and stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like that was what this band did. We just incorporated everything that we grew up with. Like me was just being a skinhead and then playing that kind of music, but then I still had the ability to play fast and freaking fast.
And look, now you can have long hair. When you were a skinhead,
that was my thing. I couldn't have it. I couldn't do it, and there was no bands that I liked. And and luckily Dead Heat was the band that I was all right. I could do this, and I was like, I could play metal. Like I grew up like just. My drum skill comes from Lars, and think about that. He's not a good drummer, but man, that's a drummer. That's a drummer.
I was gonna laugh,
and I didn't learn double bass pedal until 3 years ago. Like
I never threw shade at Lars because I was at their first show ever. I can't throw shade, and look at what they accomplished.
Exactly.
But I was laughing when you said that because it just blows my mind how many people throw shade at him. Yet he is in the biggest metal band ever in history.
And that's why I love him. That's exactly why I love him, because I was like, man, I could play like that. As a kid, I was 4 years old playing on a skateboard and my freaking dirty clothes hamper.
Nice.
My mom's pens, breaking every single freaking pen, but I'm playing along to him.
That's punk.
And I was like, yo, I could do this as a 4-year-old. And then once I started getting older, around 9 years old, started playing backyard shows with my brother. But yeah, it's like Metallica literally was the band that did it for me. Like, playing drums and playing in bands and Dead Heat.
Yeah, like same thing. I feel like same. Like I grew up listening to. I had a bunch of uncles. They were into like Rage Against the Machine, Korn. Like they threw a couple suicidal tapes here and there, but it started off a little more metal. And then to me, everything was either just punk or metal. There's some bands that even now are considered like, for example, like when I first heard Cro-Mags, I thought they were just a straight punk band, but obviously like they had that metal influence. To me, that was just like, oh no, this sounds like punk to me. And it wasn't until later that I found out, oh no, this is a hardcore band. This is a punk band. This is a metal band. And I'm like, dude, it all sounds the fucking same to me. Like,
well, that's like, Metallica was originally called power metal because there was no such word as thrash yet. And then you take the big four, they don't sound anything alike, but yet they're the genre. And that's what I love about then compared to now. There's things I love now, but now it seems a lot of bands. That's why it's great you guys have so many different influences, because there are a lot of bands that they're just like playing music from like this formula of how you play music. Wow.
Look at me.
And there is somebody here.
Sky, will you marry me?
And there is somebody here, Squiggy, who runs the music experience if you've been out in the festival. And he has married people at the festivals before.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe that's the setup.
Proposed before Metallica when we.
I saw someone propose in Metallica.
I think I saw that.
We were there. We were watching. We were just like, they were right in front of us. They're like, oh, he just got on his knee. We're like, oh, well, I don't know. I don't want the mic. But yeah. Anyways, a guy,
Wasn't it in the pit? I
Yeah,
heard
in the pit.
it was in the pit.
Some guy just proposed in the pit, and it was right in front of us, and we're just like, yeah.
Weird.
We said yeah for her, basically.
Listen, you have to feel for the guy, and if he gets on his knee in the pit.
I mean, obviously, like Metallica meant something to them, obviously.
Yeah.
So him doing that,
Maybe
great.
they met in the pit.
maybe.
Maybe she took him out.
No
in the
shade
pit
for them,
one
but I was
time.
like, whoa, that threw me off guard because I was about to get into it, and I'm like, oh wait, someone's asking to propose. Rob Zombie. He's like, hey, I threw it up with.
So what you got going on after?
So after this, we're not doing much for a little bit because we're waiting on our record to drop. That drops in October
Nice.
on Metal Blade Records.
Oh, I have a story for you. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I
shout
love
out
Metal Blade Records.
But yeah, it was pushed to October, so we're just doing one-offs every now and then until then. But no big tours until then. We're trying to get everything ready, probably do some music videos or something,
Nice.
and then pop that off.
So my friends and I, in the 80s, it's not like now where you had Spotify. The only way you found out about music is you looked at an album like, wow, that looks cool. I'm going to spend my money that I don't have on it. And if it sucks, I'm fucked. And same way you went to shows.
Yeah.
Like you looked at a picture in BAM magazine and oh, I'm going to that show because I don't care what they sound like. They look cool. So we used to go to this place called Oz Records in the Valley off of Topanga. And there was this record store clerk there. And he always recommended albums to us when we went in there. That same record clerk, I was hanging out with him a couple years ago, and I'm like, I didn't think about it then, but that was the most brilliant marketing plan ever. That's when he started Metal Blade, Brian.
Fuck yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
He was a record store clerk at Oz Records, and we'd come in, and all his bands, he would hey, you got to check this album out.
That's some smart-ass shit right there.
Right? I was there first Metal Massacre album.
I know.
And he goes, what? I said that to him. He's like, I was just a record store clerk.
I work at a record store, and I do the same thing.
Right?
So I have people coming up to me like, oh, well, go to Chris. He's more into metal. He'll recommend you. I'm like, oh, well, if you like this, you like this. I'm like, if you like that, you'll like Dead Heat.
I love it. I love it.
And I just kind of sell it off. But
Your band more.
you know what? Self-promotion's the best promotion.
No, 100%. And back in my day, you had flyers stapled to telephone poles all over LA and Ventura.
I mean, and that's the way it was till 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was Scotty from Tank Crimes. He runs a record label called Tank Crimes Records. He does that all the time. Shout out to him. He does.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to promoting like that, he for sure is a big pusher on that, which is fucking sick. For example, anytime we're up in Oakland, we'll see flyers for either shows that bands that are on his label are doing or just bands
That's
that he
so
fucks
old
with, and
school. I love
it's
it.
fucking sick.
I love that. That's the way it was. That's how Motley Crue got big. I saw, that was the first club show I ever saw in LA, but they didn't have an album, so they weren't that glam bullshit yet. They were horror punk at the time. They were lighting everything on fire, trying to burn down the Roxy on the Sunset Strip.
Motley Crue.
Motley
Okay,
Crue,
sick, fuck yeah.
before the album. And they were the best promoters because there wasn't anywhere you could go in LA that didn't have hundreds of Motley Crue flyers on telephone poles everywhere. So that's how they got there.
They left their mark for sure.
Oh,
That's fucking
100%. It's too bad that they put too much Aquanet in their hair after.
Yeah, yeah, for real. But that's basically what we did on our last album, World at War. We went through LA. We put roller posters up and stuff. Just yeah, you can talk.
Yeah, for that one, I remember fucking me and the other guitarist Jaina. We drove out to LA. We did some in Oakland too. We were just wheat pacing the whole time. Our homie had this code for FedEx or one of those little fucking spots that we could print out a bunch of shit for super cheap.
Nice.
We made a bunch of big ass self promotion flyers and just were wheat pasting all over Sunset Boulevard, Fairfax, just trying to get the name out there. And some of the ones we thought were gonna get taken down stood up for a good 5-6 months. And I was
nice.
It for sure helped push the album.
That's the way to go. Tell everybody how they can reach out to you guys on socials, on the web, buy your merch, because you don't survive without that shit.
You're right. So you can go through Instagram, DeadHeat805. You can go through our Facebook, DeadHeat805. Twitter, DeadHeat805. You can find us on Big Cartel, DeadHeat805, at .bigcartel.com or something. Yeah. If you message me, I'll ship things faster. Sorry for all those people who've gotten their stuff late.
Ask him continuously. He loves it. He loves being harassed.
I do actually love being harassed. I'm just kidding. Don't harass me. But yeah, that's how you can reach us. We're on everything: Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, LimeWire.
LimeWire, yeah. See, Lars was fucking right, man.
Yeah,
Lars
he
was fucking right. Everybody gave him shade, but he was fucking right.
I need my money.
If everybody would listen to him, all the rest of you bands would not be fucked right now by some of these companies.
True. Yeah. This is probably like the only reason we're seeing money from digital.
LimeWire.
Yeah.
Because of LimeWire.
Why?
Because of LimeWire.
But why?
Because of LimeWire.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, thanks, Lars. So how long you been with her?
That's great. So, anything else you guys want to share with the listeners that they need to know about you?
Rick?
Tell them everything about me.
Anyways, listen
Here.
to Dead Heat.
All right, I'll start. I lost my virginity in the Manson caves.
Damn, that's crazy.
You got
I
anything
can't
crazy?
top that, though.
Can I have you top that?
I know you got a story. What can you top?
Yeah, he's full of stories. He's probably full of Tijuana stories, I can tell you.
What?
Well, I lost my virginity in the Mansion Caves as well.
Nice. We're twins.
Exactly.
But I bet
Cry after it?
Cried a lot.
yours didn't have a bush.
What was his name?
What was his name?
Oh, man. Okay, it's getting out of hand now. And that's that's my fault. I'm the one that said all the shit. Fuck, you guys are badass, man. Glad to have you here at Welcome to Rockville, and I hope to see a lot more of you. And
Glad being here.
I have this idea for a festival. I was going to think maybe you could make it happen in Oxnard, but you don't surf, so you can't make it happen. Because I go to like those OC punk festivals,
Yeah.
and it's on the beach, and I'm looking at surfers out there. I'm like, man, some of these fucking bands should be like surfing and playing.
Like the closest thing, I guess, out there that they have is VCHC. Shout out to Cam, Vince. They put out pretty much, they did like, before we left, they did a skate jam, which is...
Oh, see, that's cool.
Rapid. No, that was Rapid.
It was both of them, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rapid and VCHC.
Yeah, but there's a lot of still skateboard and surf intertwined into the hardcore in Oxnard. So there's a lot of shit like that still going on. There's a skate shop called Rapid Skate Shop that still puts on a lot of shows.
Nice.
And they're still putting out the skate scene with the hardcore. And
I saw a video. I can't remember who it was. It was either a metal or punk band, and Tony Hawk was singing with them.
was it for the Tony Hawk album thing?
Yeah, I think they did. Since he's remastering the game, I think they did like a show at the El Rey, and they had a bunch of punk bands. I think they did a karaoke thing with him, like on vocals, which is fucking sick. Like
First year I was at this venue for Welcome to Rockville, I have my skateboard out in my Jeep out there, and I asked the head me, I'm like, if I take my board up on the wall and see how it goes, will I lose my media credential?
I wish we had a skateboard earlier. We were going along the track. I'm like, dude, I just want to skate this so bad.
Me too, man. That's why I bring it. And then I'm like, oh, I got to do it when nobody's around. Like
Being
that.
here is surreal, to be honest. Like, you're on the
It's
track.
wild, right?
You're not seeing this on TV.
It doesn't look
And when you-
anything
you're
like
it's
that.
fucking huge, bro. It was like, how many, 2-3 miles?
Not only that, did you see the wall?
No.
It's straight up and down.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like
It's
you
right
see
next
on
door, yeah.
TV. How about this? I got trivia for you. Why are the seats all different colors?
Clowns?
it looks like
Clowns.
Balloons?
Yeah, it's for Slipknot. No. It's actually, so it looks like the stands are full.
yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. It does look like it right
The
now.
whole time.
When we were driving here, it looked like that too.
Right?
Oh shit, people hear that early. Fuck yeah, but then I'm like, oh, it's just painted seats.
No one's even you can't be in there.
I love it.
That side's different, so I don't know.
I love them cars.
Any final words, guys?
Yeah, shout out Oxnard Hardcore.
San Diego hardcore. Shout out.
Shout out to my family, Gianna, Anouk, Josette. I love you.
Shout out to all the homies, San Gabriel Valley, Oxnard, LA, SFE.
Rest in peace, my grandma. She just passed.
Oh,
I love you. I love everybody listening. Thank you. Rest in peace, Kale.
don't forget,
Cola Boy.
shout out to Tijuana Hardcore.
Yeah, shout out to just TJ in general.
Shout out to TJ for being a good time at a bad time.
I know, right? It's a bad time having a good time at a bad time. Thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thank you so much. We're Dead Heat. Hell yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.